So this next school year, I am entering my 10th year of homeschooling. I will have a 3rd, a 6th, and a 9th grader, one in elementary, middle, and high school. And this video is all about my 6th graders curriculum for 2023-2024. This video is in partnership with A Reason For. A Reason For is offering an amazing giveaway for 2 of you. More on that in just a bit. So this past year, my son has been working through level E of Right Start Math. We love Right Start Math for the hands-on manipulatives, for the way they teach the foundations of math concepts. And I think it leads to mastery of skill really well. So I picked up level F for him, and these are the worksheets that go along with it. And we have the manipulative set, and so that has been great. I bought that early on when we were all the way back at level A, and it requires them to use it each year, so we've really gotten our money's worth out of that manipulative set. So he'll be working through level F this upcoming year. So we're still in level E. We'll continue on with that through the summer, and when he's done with that, then we'll move on to F. So I don't really start a level right at the new school year. It's just kind of like ongoing flow. Another thing I picked up from math was something that he sees my daughter use, and so the Good and the Beautiful had sent me their Simply Good and Beautiful Math level 3 maybe a year ago. So my daughter got into it. We were also using Right Start Math with her, and she was doing that kind of just on the days when I didn't have time to do Right Start Math with her. So one thing I do want to share about Right Start Math is while it is excellent at teaching math concepts, it is also very teacher intensive. So I was hesitant about using Right Start Math with 2 children in 2 different levels. And so one thing that has helped a lot is the Good and the Beautiful had sent me their Simply Good and Beautiful Math level 3. Maybe a year and a half ago. And so we started using that with my daughter on the days that I couldn't do Right Start Math with her, and she fell in love with it. She will do this for fun, and so it's something that I don't monitor. Once in a while I'll look over if they have a lesson review, I'll look over it. So since she learns the concepts from Right Start, she's able to do Simply Good and Beautiful Math independently, and so that has been great on the days that we don't have time. So I picked up Simply Good and Beautiful Math level 6 for my son at his request. It is, I think what they love about this is that it is very fun, very colorful. My daughter mentioned what she loves about it is that they teach other things besides math. So she'll learn a little bit of geography, a little bit of other cultures, and she has a lot of facts that she's learned from the math text that has nothing to do with math, but she loves having those little extra tidbits of education. The next subject is language arts, and this is a subject that I put a lot more effort in with my son. It is our most challenging subject, reading and writing, and all the details that go along with that. Reading comprehension, grammar, phonics, composition, spelling, you name it. So we picked up Learning Language Arts Through Literature from Common Sense Press, and this is the handbook. This is the teacher guide. I highly suggest if you use this that you pick up the teacher guide as well. And these are the worksheets. I put them in this is awful, this is an old binder, but I put it in this 3-ring binder. You can buy it bound, but I found that it is hard for them to write in the pages with the big, what is that thing called? You know what I'm talking about. So I ended up buying it, the PDF, and hole punching it, and then I just stick it in this binder. It's just easier, and when we take school on the road, we can just pull out whatever pages we need into a folder instead of carrying around a big book. So this is what we'll use for 6th grade. For writing this year, we'll continue on with IEW. My son will do Structure and Style level 1B, and here's a folder. He'll be taking an online course with this. I've just found that online courses for writing have been so helpful. With an IEW approved instructor, they provide feedback and correction, and that has been so helpful. It's a subject that has been very difficult for me to teach. So if you've never used Fix-It Grammar before, it's something I highly recommend. It is very easy to implement. into any language arts program. You can add it to anything really. And it is short and sweet. It takes actual literature, so each Fix-It level goes through a different work of literature. This one is Robin Hood, and it's designed to be done 4 days a week. And so day one, Monday, is the lesson. So the teacher will walk through with the students. So I have the teacher manual. So I'll go through it. My son will have this in front of him, and it talks about the new grammar lesson, that the concept that they want to teach. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or however you want to schedule it, it'll go through small chunks of the passage. Let me show you. Here's an example from week 13, day 2. So it'll have a short passage like this, and it goes, or it asks you to use the concept that was taught to correct this incorrect sentence. So there's mistakes, grammar mistakes, punctuation, all different kinds of mistakes, especially towards the end. There's a lot of different types of mistakes, and it will tell you up here to look up the vocabulary word in bold. This one's spanned, and then it lists out what you need to mark to correct the text and what you need to fix. 2 capitals, 1 comma, and 1 end mark. And then there's space at the bottom for the student to rewrite it correctly. So this has been something that probably takes about 10 to 15 minutes max to complete. This is something that's been really helpful to my son for his writing, and just learning these lessons in small chunks and then applying it to his full writing curriculum. And now I'm so excited to share with you the giveaway for today's video. It is in partnership with A Reason For. We've been using their spelling curriculum for the last couple of years. This is what we'll be using for my son, level F, which is their highest level, which I'm sad about. But my 2 younger kids really love using A Reason For spelling. They especially love, let me show you, in the teacher guide, they're assigned some reading at the beginning of each lesson. They love these stories. They all have connections to the Bible, lessons to learn. There's a little discussion time. This is the teacher book, so it's not overwhelming for kids, but they'll just read through the text which they love. And now the student work text is full of color and fun activities. My kids have really enjoyed working through the last couple levels. And so they asked me to pick this up for them this next year. And we also will try the handwriting from A Reason For. We've never used this before, but I've heard so many good things about this curriculum from friends on Instagram. What I love about it, it is all based on scripture. All the stories are teaching great lessons about character. And A Reason For also offers curriculum. So handwriting, spelling is what we're using. My daughter picked up some guided reading books, which are about the parables, which she loves. And also they have science kits and curriculum. So the giveaway for today's video from A Reason For is a good one. It's for a $50 shop credit to anything in their shop. And they are going to pick 2 winners. The way to enter, it's very easy, is listed down below in the caption. And if you cannot wait and you want to pick up something now, I also have a discount code for you if you wanted to shop their store right now. And I just ran and picked up my daughter's books to show you. They are the Intermediate Reader Set, Miracles and Parables, and it comes with 7 guided reader books. So this one's The Sower and the Seeds, Peace Be Still, Levi's Lunch, The 10 Lepers, The Lame Man, The Prodigal Son, and The Good Samaritan. And she's so excited about these books. And she is so excited about these books, she is upset that I'm holding them, filming them, because she just can't wait to dive into reading these. So I try as often as possible to combine my students from elementary through middle school, and that has worked really well for science and history for us. So for this next school year, I'm going to combine my 6th and 3rd grader for science, and we are going to use Apologia's chemistry and physics study. We've been using Apologia for years. We started out with swimming creatures, which was great for all 3 kids. At the time, we also did land animals and flying creatures. And my middle schooler has used general science and physical science this past year. So we love Apologia. The style has worked out great for us. And I always try to pick up the student notebooking journal. These have been great for my kids to reinforce the learning. And it has space for all the note taking. There's some questions, review questions from the chapter, copy work, and there's also some crossword puzzles. There's also a page, that usually gives a list of book suggestions, and we'll try to pick those up if the library has it. These are helpful just to extend the learning on the same topic. And I'm also going to use the lab experiment kit. It's pre-made, pre-packaged. It's like Ziplocs for each lesson. So lesson 1 materials, lesson 2 materials, which I found that I need in order to hold me accountable to do the experiments with my kids. So I got that lab experiment kit box from Nature's Workshop, and I'll link all of this below so it's very easy to access. But they have pre-made kits for a lot of the science curriculum, Apologia's curriculum, but also a lot of the homeschool curriculum out there, which is such a blessing to us. And that brings us to history, my favorite subject. And I'm excited to return to a company that I've used for years, that when I was looking into moving into a more Charlotte Mason style, I landed on Beautiful Feet Books as one of our first curriculums that I used. And we used the early American history for the primary grades as our first sort of Charlotte Mason style curriculum. And so now, as my kids have grown a little older, I'll be using early American history, a literature approach for intermediate grades, and this will be for my 6th and my 3rd grader. First, I just want to briefly talk about the guide that comes with Beautiful Feet Books. It is high quality, great glossy paper, and there are recipes, illustrations, and they walk you through each lesson. Each lesson is meant to be short, and it all is based on great literature that talks about this time period. So let me go through some of the books. So each Beautiful Feet literature guide comes with a book list, and you can buy the literature from their site, or you can check your library to see what you already can get for free. I love the choices from Beautiful Feet Books, all quality literature, great living books, stories that walk you through that period of time. There's one book that I actually asked them to omit. And that's a great thing. You can always customize your pack. You can reach out to them and ask them to omit books, or because some of them you might already have from other years of schooling. So there's just one book that I'm going to omit this year, and it's called A Child's First Book of American History. And that one we had looked through our first year using Beautiful Feet Books, and it just wasn't a good fit for us. The illustrations were not to our liking. So I found a couple things that I'm going to use instead. This is the new America Our Stories. This is from Simply Charlotte Mason, and this is their updated version that we're going to go through, and I think it's appropriate for our age of kids. Another book that we're going to go through is called A Kid's Guide to Native American History, and I had seen another mom share about this book, and I thought it'd be a great fit, a great replacement for our kids. There are also recipes in here, and crafts, and let's see, games, just little fun things and little facts that I think would go nicely with this study. Okay, so let's get into the literature from Beautiful Feet Books for the Early American History Intermediate level. And these are the books that I'll read aloud to my 6th and my 3rd grader. Hiawatha and the Peacemaker, People of the Breaking Day, Children of the Longhouse, The Vikings. We've read this before, this is really good. Pocahontas and the Strangers, Pedro's Journal, The Landing of the Pilgrims. If you've never read the Landmark books, this is a great series to pull from. Where Do You Think You're Going, Christopher Columbus, Jean Fritz. The World of William Penn, A Misfortune Freeman. George versus George, The American Revolution as Seen from Both Sides. This is a National Geographic book. Tolliver's Secret. We're Writing the Constitution, another Jean Fritz book. Why Not Lafayette? Remember the Ladies. A Voice of Her Own. Oh, Phyllis Wheatley. How We Crossed the West, The Adventures of Lewis and Clark. This is another National Geographic book. The Story of Harriet Tubman. Heart of a Samurai. This is a book that my older daughter read on her own, and she really loved it and wanted me to read it, so I'm looking forward to reading this aloud to my younger kids. 7 Miles to Freedom. Civil War Drummer Boy. I've never heard of this one. And Lincoln, a photo biography. So early American history also comes with a timeline, and these have been really helpful for us just to visually keep track of where we are in history, and it's just basically a blank accordion style timeline that we will draw on. And Beautiful Feet includes, I should show, some of these photos that the kids can color, or you can just draw and make your own. Yeah, this is something our kids really enjoy doing, and it's nice to have just displayed visually in your home so you can remember where you are in history. And so next is geography, and we're also going to be using a study from Beautiful Feet books, and it could seem like a lot because it does come with a lot of literature as well. However, it's designed to be done once a week, and so it definitely seems doable for us. So this is another one I'm going to be using with my 6th and my 3rd grader. Here is the teacher guide again, just so beautiful. It gives you the lesson, some vocabulary, some things to label on the map. And this is all about US geography. Okay, so here are the books that come with the Beautiful Feet books geography study. First, there's a United States Atlas from National Geographic Kids. Let's see real quick. Oh, this is great. It's very colorful and engaging. Talks about all the US territories and states. Geography and Illustrated A through Z glossary. Mapping Penny's World. The New Americans Colonial Times. The Trailblazing Life of Daniel Boone, How Early Americans Took to the Road. This is pretty thick, but this looks good. Buffalo Bird Girl. John Muir. Redwoods. 10 Mile Day in the Building of the Transcontinental Railroad. The Last River. Bad News for Outlaws. The Remarkable Life of Bass Reeves, Deputy U.S. Marshal. I've never heard of this one. And it also comes with a giant map. Of the United States. Ooh, this will be fun. So we will do the map work on this, and I love that it's big enough so both of my kids can work on it and not get into fights over it. And then they also include a notebook. We probably will just save this and use this for something else because they like to use the notebooks where they can watercolor and just has that thicker mixed media paper. So to go along with our US big early American history study, we are also going to add in a art history course from Yellow Spot Sun. It's called Drawing Americana. I'll link that below. Both of my younger 2 kids will continue on with online piano classes with Hoffman Academy. They'll also do watercolor school and nature art club with Lily and Thistle. Both of my kids will continue on with Squilt music lessons once a week in our loop schedule. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do. I'm sharing the rest of my kids' curriculum choices for the 2023-2024 school year here. Also, make sure you enter the giveaway from A Reason For. They are giving away $50 shop credit to 2 of you. And we will see you in the next video.